And we begin with this. A judge sentenced Sangjoon Lee to prison for 2 years, 8 years for kidnapping an 11-year-old Nampa girl. Police say Lee enticed the girl through an online gaming program and planned to take the girl to his house in California. Lee was released 9 months after being sentenced and placed in a rider program. The Canyon County Sheriff is outraged over the early release. News Channel 7's Jude Binkley spoke with some local law enforcement about what this means for the justice system. Jude.
Well, Shira, Lee was released on a rider, and inmates who are given a rider can either be released on probation for good behavior or sentenced to their full prison sentence. Some local law enforcement is outraged over this decision and Lee's early release.
Shock and disappointment, frustration, dismay.
Those were the first words that came to the mind of Canyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue after he heard a judge's decision to release Sangjoon Lee, a California man who was convicted of kidnapping a young Nampa girl in 2021.
The guy gets convicted, so he should be held accountable for what this type of an offense is heinous.
Donahue says the judge's decision takes away from the work law enforcement does to put felons away.
It makes officers wonder, what's the use? What are we fighting for?
Sheriff Donahue spoke with the victim's family after Lee was released. He says the victim's father had many questions.
Questions like, where is this person? I don't know. He's on probation. Will he stay in the area? I don't know, sir. Will he go back to California? I can't say. Is our daughter safe? I can't guarantee that. That's the questions I got asked today on the phone. And the worry that what will this do to her psychologically, knowing now that the suspect is not in prison, is not behind bars, and who's watching over him?
Lee was released on a rider program. Inmates who are given a rider can either be released on probation for good behavior or sentenced to their full prison sentence. Donahue says the program is needed, but doesn't think they should be used in cases like this.
I've seen it work. I've seen great success by people who are just like, ooh, teetering, like, you know what? I finally woke up. I'm gonna do better. But when you have a person who's predatorial, like in this case, that rider program is not going to fix it. This is Sheriff Donahue's opinion. That rider program is not going to fix the mental disturbance in that person. Not going to fix it. In 9 months? Seriously?
Chief Joe Huff of Nampa PD says there's been frustration in the law enforcement community over the rider program when criminals are given multiple riders. Nampa PD says they've seen repeat offenders who've had dozens to hundreds of run-ins with police.
My personal opinion is a lot of people that are getting riders are being released when they probably shouldn't be. They're probably not good candidates for the rider program. And I back that up on statistics on the people that Nampa Police sees. A lot of our suspects are repeat offender suspects.
We all need to be on that same page throughout the judicial system, including the judiciary, because we all have a responsibility to protect that little girl and every little girl like her. And every little boy.
Now, Judge Randall S. Grove made this decision, and Lee remains on a probation term of 5 years.
All right, thanks, Jude.